Hi, I'm Jay,
Hi everyone, I'm Marie.
and you're watching JAM Sesh. All right, let's tune into the news. Oh, wait. To start us off, Marie and I picked some funny videos to share with each other that we haven't shown each other yet. We constantly share memes and funny stuff, but we're going to do it for you guys live and in the moment. And I'm going to start with one. Marie, you know how like sometimes when people get broken up with, they feel a rush of emotions?
Yeah, probably.
My girlfriend broke up with me. Welcome to the mother single life. It's time to get ready to mingle. Woo! Let's go! Let's go, baby!
So I think he's taking that well.
You know, like sometimes there's a point of view and sometimes it's like outside of it. So it's like I want for someone to record him sitting in a car and just
Let's go!
I'm so sorry and I'm really glad for you, dude. You finally let that girl go.
No, his girlfriend broke up with him, and honestly, I could see why after that video. That is some psycho behavior. Listen, like I get coping with your emotions, but this isn't it, man. This is stupid.
It's not Oscar. It's not Oscar performance, unfortunately. Try harder.
Marie, have you ever seen those videos where like women are saying they would rather be stuck with a bear than with a man?
Oh yeah, that theory that women choose the bear.
I found a perfect video to explain as to why most women would choose the bear.
Interesting.
Would you rather get in a ring with a bear or us? You probably have better luck with the bear.
And here's why. Because my claws are a lot sharper. Also, I have canine teeth.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I can get on my hind legs without an issue.
Yeah.
And I can run on all fours.
You can? Yeah. I would take your chances with the bear, buddy.
It's the symbol of they go hold me hostage.
But I want you to rewatch the part where he's like, I could get on my hind legs for no problem. And then look at the other guy, how he reacts.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I can get on my hind legs without an issue.
Yeah.
Even your friend just like, what the heck he's talking about?
I can get on my hind legs for no issue.
Rough. We all go shopping. Time to time, we'll go to the shopping center or we go to the grocery store.
Okay.
And usually they ask us, do you want a receipt printed? And they give it to you, or if it's self-checkout. And this video tell you why you don't need to take it.
Why you don't need to take it?
You don't need to take the receipt.
Hey bro, don't forget your receipt.
No, you do not want your receipt. Do you know how much estrogen is in a receipt? It lowers your testosterone. It makes you weak. It is poison. No receipt for me.
What?
Jay, that's the reason why I take the receipt, not him.
Yeah,
He's
I
never
don't-
pick
I
it
don't
up the
touch it.
receipt. I take the receipt.
I'm so masculine.
Yes. I'm so feminine because there is so much estrogen in the receipt.
And as a matter of fact, I gotta stop handing you the receipt.
Yeah, because I seen this hand. No, you don't need that.
That is a first. I'm with this logic.
But this dude looks so masculine. There is no reason to believe him.
Streets are a dangerous place, right, Marie?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
I come across videos that show you how to deal with like real life dangerous situations. And I would just want to share this with our viewers so they have an idea of what to do in these types of situations.
If you put your finger in the barrel of a gun, some people think it would stop the bullet and make the barrel explode. But that's not completely true. Doing this would easily shatter your finger as the bullet continued on. To really stop the bullet, you shouldn't put your finger there. But if you put your
That's a good trick you can use.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to,
Mm-hmm.
but you can on your risk.
Yeah, they wouldn't see it coming. Or you.
Turn off the camera.
Marie, you know I love you, right?
I hope so.
What she means to say is, yes, I love you too.
I love you too.
But I don't know if I ever show you as much affection as this creator does.
Passing in the hallway, grab her hips, turn her around, press her up against the wall, and just lean up really close.
Too close.
And whisper in her ear.
You're too close.
What do you whisper?
I've got plans for you tonight.
A bear. A bear. A big, fluffy, dangerous bear.
I come across this guy all the time and send it to her.
That's awful. That's
you hate it.
disgusting. I understand if you do this with your girlfriend, wife, whatever. But this, it's making me cringe. It's making me yuck. It's making me try just like. Ugh!
Okay, so out of this guy and the first guy I showed you, who do you think is actually single?
Both.
Wrong.
I hope they date each other.
In his videos, he definitely has an accomplice.
We missed Tuesday. Now I'm going to eat your taco till your legs shake.
Wow.
Stop this insanity, please.
But yeah, I guess he has a lady that's into his videos. I wonder what came first, the lady or the videos?
We don't know what kind of relationship. Maybe it's a neighbor. Maybe she just doing tacos. Who knows?
I wouldn't want this guy offering to eat any type of my tacos.
Any type of tacos. There must be sign crossed with his face. like not allowed in this area.
Near the park.
Near anywhere. Anywhere where's the women. So it's like anywhere. Except in the woods. But there is a woman with a bear, so. I'm a tattoo artist. And I deal with a lot of customers with really interesting ideas.
Okay.
But none of those ideas take so much comments on, like this one.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Bad Design. This, supposedly, is a tattoo of a minimalist puppy. Let's check the comments. Looks like a Cocker Spaniel. May turn into a maximum tattoo because that's a Peter. Girl is going to be racing for a cover-up. Is the dog in the room with us? It's a rocket ship! Tattoo has really cocked that up, didn't he? And then can we just briefly shout out to this absolute king who is looking at the technique on the tattoo? Because also he's correct.
That is the worst. That has to be illegal. I don't even see how that can be a puppy.
I can see.
You can?
Poppy in a room with us. But the huge penis is also in a room with us.
Right, but explain to me how that's supposed to look like a dog.
Okay. The top, this side, it's a snout. There is a face.
Okay.
This is the face, and this is the ear.
Okay.
This is the goes down. It's a spine and a paws.
Marie, that just looks like a dick.
I think never be rude to your tattoo artist.
Okay.
Never.
That was our funny videos.
That was our funny videos. If you want to share your funny videos with us, you're always welcome.
Well, I'm glad we got through the funny part, but there's some serious stuff going on in the world. We are filming this Sunday, March 1st. Happy March.
Happy March.
We might be at war.
Might be, or we are.
So if you've been living under a rock, which we're assuming you haven't been.
Under Chris Rock or Dwayne Rock Johnson?
I think people would prefer those. But this past weekend, the U.S. did invade and attack Tehran and other cities in Iran. The supreme leader of Iran is dead. This has a lot of implications on what can go on. You know, like, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on war or anything. It's a very scary time indeed. And we just wanted to share some information that we came across with you guys. You know, drop in the comments how you feel about it. You know, we're open to discussion. We're all in this together. And yeah, let's just get into it. So I'm not going to pretend to be like geopolitical inclined or like know exactly what's going on in the world. I know, Marie, you've had your own experience with what's going on, but you know, these days we just really have what's in front of us, just like everyone else.
Yeah, we don't know how it works, but the news is kind of scary this time, and And we decided to share with you what we find.
Yeah, so one video that I found is actually a content creator that put something out like a month before. Like actually she put it out in January. I think she does a good job explaining like some of the stuff that's going on in Iran with like different people's feelings, and I'm just going to go ahead and play it.
If you don't understand what the fuck is happening in Iran right now, here is a quick summary of everything you need to know. In August of 1953, the United States and the United Kingdom did something called Operation Ajax, where they overthrew the democratically elected Prime Minister Mossadegh and implanted their guy, Reza Shah Mohammad Pahlavi. Also known as the Shah, he oversaw Iran from the 50s to the 70s. And during this time, Iran saw a lot of economic growth. They had liberalization, modernization. Women were able to do whatever they want, wear whatever they want, go to university. And it was an overall very liberal society. However, at the same time, it was heavily influenced by Western countries. So the United Kingdom, the United States, Israel, they had heavy ties and influence to Iran, which a lot of people did not like. The Shah also had a secret police called the Savak, which employed a lot of over-surveillance of citizens, brutality, and unnecessary aggressions, which the citizens grew to heavily resent. By 1979, the people got tired and had a revolution where they replaced the monarchy with the Islamic Republic of Iran, which is the Iran that we see today. Now, the new leader we see is Ayatollah Khomeini, who carried on Iran from 1979 from the revolution to today. And his government strongly stood against Western influence and cultural dominance, against imperialism, against Zionism, and strongly supported the Palestinian cause. It imposed heavy religious extremism and rules and regulations on women, women's hijabs, covering up all the time to a point of brutality, which we saw in the Masha Amini case and Zan Zindagi Azadi movement. Political dissent, independent media, and civil society activism are heavily restricted. On top of that, the economy has become so devastated that it's hard for an everyday Iranian to live in. US imposed sanctions to curb the Iran nuclear program has resulted in a collapse of the economy as of late December. Civil unrest is so tense that the current Iranian government is enforcing brutality amongst protesters. Many are dying at the hands of government officials. There have been widespread internet and phone blackouts, so people living in Iran have no contact to their family members or friends outside of Iran. People of Iran are not only fed up with the economy, they're fed up with the government, and they just want a widespread change of government and a complete overturning. There are, however, some downsides to this. You may see some photos circulating of Iranian protesters carrying the Israeli flag. This is because there are some Iranians who want to bring back the Shah monarchy. They want to have that Western-aligned government. They want to have that Zionist-aligned government, which would mean that the Palestinian cause would greatly suffer because Iran is one who's greatly funding Hamas right now.
So a lot going on with Iran. Lots of differences between religious and political viewpoints. It comes off initially as kind of black and white, but like she said, there's a lot of gray areas because like there's pros and cons to both sides, I guess. But just off of that first impression, like how much did you know about Iran and like how do you feel about it now?
I didn't know a lot about Iran, honestly. I know they had the troubles before. I heard about this interaction of America and United Kingdom, but I believe that it's never good if someone from a side come to the country and tell them what to do. And this gray area mostly because if all the people support one thing, and only few support another, you can understand that that's correct way to rule the country. But if it's 50-50, 60-40, one direction or another, 70-30, it's still big amount of people, big percentage of people who support one or another way to rule the country. That way you can't say, we're going to do this because someone's going to be offended. I definitely not support take the rights from a woman and punish women for whatever you think must be. I don't think that any country must interfere. Like, it's really rare situation when it could happen. I definitely don't like in any way. I don't like when people suffer not because they did something bad, just because they don't feel comfortable and they voice their opinion. They go outside on a protest. They suffer, they die.
The anchor weeps on Iranian state TV, announcing the death of Iran's supreme leader. Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed in his office, says Fars News, by the joint U.S.-Israeli bombardment of the country. The Iranian government has declared 40 days of mourning, while the military is vowing revenge. Khamenei ruled Iran for 36 years. He used deadly force at home to crush periodic popular uprisings and nurtured a network of militias across the Middle East that challenged U.S. and Israeli ambitions throughout the region. Khamenei survived an assassination attempt in 1981 that left his right arm paralyzed. In the run-up to this weekend's strikes, he reportedly prepared a line of succession in the event of his death. Pro-regime supporters have already gathered in the streets of some Iranian cities to mourn their leader. But his killing has also been celebrated in other parts of Iran, as well as Syria, and among members of the vast Iranian diaspora scattered around the world.
I must say, I understand when some people cry, when some people celebrate. The thing is, I don't believe that anyone can rule the country democratically for more than 4 years. That's not correct. That's became already like you became a king of the country. And all this monarchy without being a king, it's kind of awful. We have pure example, the Russian. I have specific feelings towards them. But I'm sure if their leader gonna die, they're gonna cry too. Some of them will. The thing is, it's just people who cry, they just don't see anything else in their life. For 37 years, right? Or how many?
So the Ayatollah was there for 37 years.
37 years. Older than me and you. The people who probably, there was most of the people who probably was born with him and lived
Their
30.
entire life.
Yeah, it's like, it's insane. It's all you seen, and now the scary feeling that it's there's gonna be changes, and these changes scare people. But other people, and we hear like a lot of people outside of Iran really celebrating because they see it from the outside. They see how it looks from perspective of living in a different country. When only one person ruled the country for 37 years or less or more, but it's like big amount of time. They probably rule the news, narratives, all of it. Being in a country, you probably don't see what's going on. And people outside, they understand what's going inside.
I'm super happy! Never happy in my life now! It's my best ever in my life!
We're in North London in this area that is home to a large Iranian community. And, you know, it's past 11 o'clock at night here. And this is a major street party.
Actually, I can say one more, bittersweet. I'm gonna say I'm happy the dictator is out. And it's kind of like a beginning of the end now. It's gonna be peace for the world, peace for the Middle East.
I couldn't believe it on the news. I was like, is it really happening? Is he dead? Is he really dead? I cried so much at home.
I mean, you look around here and you see all these flags. You've got the flag of Iran under the monarchy, under the Shah, the lion and sun flag. You've got the Israeli and American flags as well. People waving those, and we had people coming up telling us, thank you, President Trump. Thank you, Bibi Netanyahu.
So this video kind of, it shows people inside the country were celebrating, and I'm sure there are people inside the country celebrating. But that point that you made with like people like on the outside kind of looking in, celebrating this, and like some of the points that they're saying is now there's going to be peace in the Middle East and like things are going to be better. Like, how do you interpret that? Like,
I think it's just because it for so long was really not peaceful, and probably some of them have relatives back in Iran. This sticky feeling that you consistently anxious about what's happened. What if something happens with them? What if the friends, the family members? And now it's kind of done, but honestly, I don't believe in changes like this.
No, not at all.
It's definitely going to be complicated time for some time, until it's start to be livable. Now people trying to prove each other that they right to mourning and they right to celebrating.
Yeah, I get wanting to celebrate, but like we got to remember that like this is a war now, and every action's going to have a reaction. So like just because we went and did this as a country, the US and Israel went and killed their leader, that doesn't mean it's over. As a matter of fact, they've already started to retaliate. This is how world wars start. This is not the only conflict that's happening in the world. This isn't like the only wars that, Marie, you're here obviously because of what happened back home for you. it's not that this is the one thing that's going to cause it. It's that there's so much going on at the same time. There's going to be a line drawn in the sand. There's going to be people on one side. There's going to be people on another. There might be people on the third and fourth side. I don't know. Like the celebration, I can't speak for the people of Iran living under those kind of certain conditions for 37 years. I can't speak for the people who feel bad that this leader was murdered because they lived in what they thought was great for 37 years. Like a lot of my feelings are just like a whole bunch of like, I don't know. And I'm someone that like, you know, like I was in the Navy. You know, I didn't serve overseas, so I'm not going to like act like I'm some sort of like military expert here. You know, I had my role stateside. I did what I did and I got out. So even from that perspective, like I'm not sure like what's going to go on. Some people are saying this is like us going into Iraq 20 years ago on the heels of what happened in Venezuela a couple of months ago at this point. Like, oh, is this about oil? Is this like about securing stuff for the US? Is this about, I don't know, pushing Israel's, you know, objectives forward ahead of everyone else's? It's really troubling times. Like, who knows? This might lead to boots on the ground. This might lead to mass enlistment. This might lead to an actual full-blown war. Like, I mean, these are, in my opinion, acts of war. Attacking another country, regardless of the reason, that's an act of war. Yeah, I wish I could feel more optimistic about what's going to happen in the future, but this is the reality that we're dealing with now.
And I think nobody's pay attention to situation in general. Like we see something like this happened, that happened, this happened. But if you put all together the meanings behind all of this, I will say how I think: greed to money, to oil, to whatever, to I want to rule the world, whatever. All this ego never gonna bring anything good. If you interfere in a politic of other country, you must understand there's gonna be people who support you. But there's also going to be people who didn't, who support the regime, who support the leader. They're not going to sit and just accept what you did. So you need to remember that there is such a thing as revenge, and people want to take it. People want to serve it, and it's going to be pretty cold. I see that from perspective of Ukrainian who being in a position of country who's receive the aggression. It was really shocking for Russian when Ukrainian military start actually beating back. If someone beating you, you're not gonna sit and just like, oh, okay, maybe it's changed my mind now. Oh, I did something bad and you pushed me and you beat me, and I'm gonna say, oh, okay, I'm gonna change probably. No, you're gonna beating back, and people don't think about that. So just remember, if you did something bad to someone else, don't expect thank you. Be prepared to some kind of revenge actions towards you. That's all I can say, and it's really scary. It's not what American citizens wanted, at least how much I heard from them, but it is what happens, and that's kind of sad. It's sad for a country, America, involved in a war with, and for regular people, because who suffer? The regular people.
Yeah, just remember that all this is started by a bunch of men that are over 75 years old that probably won't be around too much longer, maybe due to natural causes. You know, we'll do our best to stay updated, stay informed, share what we know with you. This channel, Good Soup Productions, we'll do our best to entertain you as well. We're gonna give you some sugar with that medicine. And yeah, those were just our quick thoughts on what's going on. We hope that everyone could stay safe and, you know, drop a comment, have discussions, share with us how you feel with what's going on. Share with us your opinions. We don't necessarily have to agree, but I think now more than ever, open discourse is more than appreciated. To lighten the mood, let's go to another terror. I know you're a big fan of this person here. Lady Gaga is on tour, and we've covered a lot of different like concerts and performances in the past.
Yes.
So I'm a little empathetic, a little bit, maybe sympathetic. Some people are paying very hefty prices to go see your show to get a certain view that they're not a fan of. Essentially, what we're seeing here is the cameraman's ass with Lady Gaga in the backdrop.
With my love to Lady Gaga, that kind of concert, I'm not even pay for it, but that's pretty good view for me.
Yeah, I mean, but if you paid
Yeah, that's
thousands of
insane.
dollars, whether it's the tickets or like the hotel and the food and stuff, or the transportation to get to the venue, like if you're in like the nosebleeds, like the high sections far away, like you're looking at the screen anyway, so that probably looks really cool to you. But if you're sitting up front, like I don't know, you get what you pay for. But
I mean, you go to the performer to see the performer, because if you want to just listen to music, you can just go and listen to music, right? You
Right.
can just buy the album, you can just download the music. If you go, you want to see the performance, you want to see the costume, you want to see, I don't know, moves, dance, and all you can see is just a dude wearing black, holding huge camera and just
yeah,
walking
just
awkwardly
huge
around.
rigs too.
That's, I think, the big problem for the production. How you not think about that?
A lot of people are complaining because Lady Gaga was filming in her most recent tour of the Mayhem Ball at the Forum in Los Angeles. There were frequent breaks between songs and a ton of cameramen on the stage. I love Lady Gaga, but the reality of the situation is these are very expensive concert tickets, and it does impact your enjoyment of the show. I love Lady Gaga, but I do kind of think that artists should have to disclose when there are going to be these types of disruptions, because these are such expensive shows, and I don't think it's crazy that some people are kind of wanting a refund.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I get that you got to get your concert performance footage. It's like a stand-up comedian like recording their special, and they let people know, like from what I've seen, like, hey, I'm going to be recording my special. You could buy tickets to watch me record the special. And a lot of times they might have to cut, they might have to redo a joke to try to get a good take. But the people there already know. Like, I don't know much of the decorum around these kind of concert recording sessions, I guess you'll call them. It seems like they're not disclosing to ticket buyers that they're recording these shows, that there's going to be like frequent disruptions, frequent breaks. Like, I get it. They want to put on a good show to record to like whatever documentary or like movie they want to put out. Sometimes in theaters, they put out like these big performance like videos that you could buy tickets to and watch it in theaters. And that, you know, that's great for people at home or who couldn't go to the concert. But there's got to be some sort of communication, and it doesn't seem like that's there.
You want my hot take? They pretty rich. They're rich enough to separate and do 2 separate recordings. Hear me out. I'm not a director, but I'm logically thinking. On one concert where there are like lots of people, take the most of the shots of the crowd. And a second, free concert with no people. Maybe invite some people just for free. Just cover the first couple rows and record just the concert of you singing. You can stop as much as you want because those people for free, they just come to see you, right? And you singing there. Okay. And you can stop as much as you want. Fix your hair. Re-sing something if you like not in a high note enough. And you can make it as a movie, because how movie? Lady Gaga have a bunch of movies, but she is such a cheap that she can't separate. Record just a concert and record just because I know you want to show how many people, and probably in LA there was a lots of people. That's the reason why they choose to do that. But now they have all this backlash about people just not satisfied with a concert. You can avoid it if you just separate recordings your performance and recording the crowd.
I get that. That's probably the more expensive route to do that. I just think that as long as they disclose it, and maybe there's a discount on the tickets for that performance, like, because they want to be able to do both, perform for people, sell them merch, and record the thing and get a live crowd reaction. At the very least, like, yours is a great idea, and a little editing can fix that and make it look like you're at the live big show. They're not going to go for that because that's not how they're going to make money. And if you want to make your money but still not have the bad press, do what comedians do. Hey, we're taping the special tonight. Like, there's going to be frequent breaks. There's going to be this. There's going to be that. I don't know, you all get a fucking t-shirt and you get to watch Lady Gaga on the big screen while she's on the stage. That would be my compromise if I were in the position to do so.
They recorded this concert to, in the end, sell it, to have more money. I mean, stop being needy-greedy and just do your job.
They'll never stop being greedy.
I mean, I understand we all need money, economy, but you're not in that level of survivor mode, right? Right.
Yeah, it's just essentially all you're seeing is just the cameraman with a giant rig, multiple cameramen, like you got his back up there to make sure he doesn't fall over,
She just can't record it separately in some day.
Here's another solution. Put some GoPros on the top of your dancers' heads.
Like this.
Yeah, just all of them wearing the helmets dancing, and you can see like behind Lady Gaga. Like I said, I get the objective of it. It just has to be communicated better, and that's the big thing. Like if it was communicated better, they're like, hey, we discounted these tickets compared to a regular show price. We let everyone know, like when you buy a ticket, this is the taping. There may be delays, there may be disruptions, there may be reshoots. And then people start complaining. You're like, hey, look at what the ticket says. The ticket says this, instead of having to deal with people demanding refund.
Hear me out. There is a multiple options for recording. There is a rigs that moving around the stage and record you. That they not in a face. Like there's two dudes. Like who does two dudes? They perform pretty well.
Their brother Gaga.
Like I don't even know their names. They must be on a poster.
I know you can't tell by looking at me, but I'm not a fitness influencer.
No way.
No way. There's been one fitness influencer that's been pretty popular lately, and initially it was for all the right reasons. Positivity, great techniques and tricks and different things you can do to improve your life. Malibu Fitmaxx.
He's from Malibu.
It's like all carbs, dude. Plus you get some potassium and niacin in there. It's really great.
Definitely sounds like he's from Malibu. But the biggest thing that we found recently, user by the name goob_u2, I think his whole thing is just like exposing influencers that are lying. A little background on Malibu Fitmaxx. He is a combat veteran. He's been on deployments. I believe he was in the Army between like 2005 and 2011. According to his profile initially in his bio, he wrote down that he was a survivor of an IED explosion to the face. He included that because people were kind of making fun of the way he looks. He has a very distinct looking face. From my personal experience, when I first came across this influencer like a month ago, he just kept coming up on my feed. And I'll be real, like I saw his face. I'm like, oh, he has a very interesting looking face. And I was like, let me see what the comments have to say, because that's sometimes the comments give you way more context than the actual videos do. And what I saw in the comments were like people like, hey, before you say anything, read his bio. Survived an IED explosion to the face. Don't try this at home. And they're like, people shouldn't be making fun of this guy because, he served his country. He dealt with these things, and now he's like real positive. So he's been kind of going off of that whole positivity vibe. He's been, happy, smiling, showing you how to work out, showing you what to eat. It feels like he had to share that because of all these things that people were saying. But going back to that other user, goob_u2, yeah, he found out that he's been lying. People have been reaching out to him like, hey, he changed his bio for whatever reason. I know he recently signed with a sponsor, ProSups, one of those supplement companies that sell you workout protein supplements, stuff like that. Thank you. Yeah, I'm obviously a fitness influencer.
Vitamins
I know what I'm talking about.
Minerals,
but
and powders.
So he signed this big deal, and then now he's being exposed for actually lying. We watched Goob's video.
If you don't know who Malibu Fitmaxx is, he's very recently, like in the last month, just popped into the fitness stratosphere. This guy, Malibu Fitmaxx, used to have IED survivor in his bio. He very recently removed it. If you look at his current bio, it says combat vet, but it doesn't mention the IED survivor. Malibu Fitmaxx himself says that he was in the 293rd Military Police CO. He says that in this comment right here. And Malibu himself has multiple times said he survived an IED to the face, used to have it in his bio. Malibu told a news reporter that in 2010 is when this happened. He was discharged from the military in 2010 after an IED blew up in his face in Afghanistan. If you Google any of these, I can Google the 293rd MPCO, you will see a registry of any injuries that happen, stuff like that. So I did do that. They do mention injuries in this very article from that MP coming back. They list them here. That prior homecoming article makes no mention of a Lee Markham. It does mention this man, Stephen Markham, who received a Purple Heart and was injured during that explosion. Now, I have Lee's number, and I had recently spoken to him and helped him with the situation he was having with his photographer. I'm going to show you the text messages between me and Lee that occurred earlier today. I said, hey, I had someone send me a question about your service. Told them I asked you directly, what's the story on that? When exactly were you wounded and on what deployment? I told them I'd get answers and send it back. I wasn't aware that was something that you went through, but they said that it used to be in your bio. He replied, "We are filming a documentary to be released next month. All this stress from stuff is making it worse now, back on the meds just to sleep." He then said, "Every day should be fun, and now I'm filled with anxiety and depression all over again, but I keep it up." I didn't think that was actually answering my question at all. I said, "Between me and you, can you tell me?" I looked into it briefly and found a video of you speaking at a church from around that time period, so I figured I'd reach out and ask from the man himself. He replied, "Appreciate it, bro, but I'm struggling already. Thank you for what you did for me," referring to the photographer. "In good time, everyone will see the doc. Every night is a struggle to sleep again, and it's so overwhelming dealing with my last videographer, and now I'm down to hardly any content. I'm a positive guy, but damn, it's getting difficult." He didn't even answer my question, just said thank you again for the photographer help. You have a page that millions of people are looking at now, so you should just address it. I hope we're wrong. I hope that this is all just one huge misunderstanding and one huge coincidence, or something's wrong. What is the truth? Hopefully we're wrong. Hopefully this is just one giant misunderstanding. There's a reasonable explanation to it and all that, but it doesn't look great, and you should be concerned because it's your image and you're a public figure now, bro. Like, welcome to the show.
Yeah, so he's done some research, and it shows that like nothing about him receiving any injuries, no Purple Hearts in his DD-214 and his discharge papers. Like when he tried to directly confront him with that, he just straight up said like nothing. Like he avoided the subject altogether.
Yesterday, I posted a very long video about Malibu Fitmaxx, aka Lee Markham. I posed a question to him. "Hey, Lee, you've marketed yourself as somebody that has survived an IED blast to the face on a deployment in Afghanistan. Is that true?" But at the time that I recorded the video, I did not have his DD-214, and I did not have his medical records from when he was overseas. Now I have them, and I'm going to show you guys them, and we're going to talk about what actually happened to Malibu Fitmaxx's face. Let's cut right to the chase. This is his DD-214. It shows that he was deployed to Afghanistan 2009 July 31st to 2010 July. In his decorations, medals, and badges right up here, it does not mention a Purple Heart. But what do his medical records say? Well, here it is, guys. Here's the medical record from the incident that Lee Markham is characterized as an IED to the face. 26 male complaining of chipped front tooth, lip, and forehead laceration from fall. A friend reports that patient was drinking and fell near Camp Cournier, his barracks. He did lose consciousness after falling. So, ladies and gentlemen, when Malibu Fitmaxx says that he sustained an IED blast to the face, like he said right here, "I survived an IED to the face while serving overseas," and it used to say right here in his bio, "Survivor of IED to the face, don't try that at home, folks." It was just a big misunderstanding. What he meant to say was he got really drunk while stationed in Korea in 2006 and fell down before his deployment ever happened and fucked his face up. He's in Korea when this happened. He is not in Afghanistan. He is not on a deployment, and he just got wasted and fell down. Way to fucking go, Malibu Fitmaxx. You played with fire, leveraged a bold
Why this dude annoys me a lot.
humongous following, and never thought anything would happen. Well, sir, people were there with you. People talk, and there are people out there like me that look into this shit because, well...
Because you have nothing to do in your life.
Well, this kind of opened up a discussion for us, and we'll get into it later, but Malibu Fitmaxx actually does go and reply and apologize for lying. He just straight up directly acknowledges it. But this kind of opened up a discussion for us. Like, I totally understand, like, if someone's lying, you would want to call them out for the truth. But you seem particularly annoyed with this guy.
I tried to explain why, because when I a little bit was into this story, I'm not saying lying is good. Lying is bad. Don't lie. But who of us never lie in a CV? Who of us never lie in the life? We all lie. The thing is, if you lie to people because you're trying to scam them for money, to sell them some products that must be helping with the problem. We know a lot of con artists who pretend to have, I don't know, cancer and asking for donations. This dude didn't do that. He's not promoting any cream for scars. He's not telling this happens to me and now I fix everything just using this. He's in a good shape, eat right. He's used some supplements, probably because supplements is not bad. Especially if you do some exercise, if you have some issues with the health or you try to make it better. But you need to know what exactly to take. He's kind of in the field what he's trying to sign to promote. I don't like the idea that he lied about that. And I believe he also lied about that in the interview. In the video, we see all of that. But Go, but this dude, goob_you2, go and find all of this information, trying to say, you! Like, it's became really popular to, like, show off, they're bad, they are bad, they are bad. But, man, how do you leave? Like, what's your income? Because you spend so much time looking someone else's personal documents. What do you do for a living? I don't think you work in a Home Depot. I don't think you work in anywhere. I think you have your income through doing this work, correct? And of course, you find a little thing that actually, bother maybe a 2% or maybe even less than all people who's actually subscribe on this Malibu Fitmaxx. And you trying to say that he is not a good person. Find a fucking job, man. Like, figure it out in your life. I understand maybe it sustain your life, but what you doing?
Well, I see what you're saying, Marie. But, like, then the other side of it, too, is that he did lie. Now, like, he didn't go to the extent of, like, I don't know, the Liver King. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, his whole thing was, like, you know, I'm all natural. I eat liver. I eat, like, dead animals. Like, just straight up dead animals. Not like I eat meat. Like, I eat animals that I just killed at the moment, and I'll eat their fucking liver. He would tell people that he achieved his body through, like, these ancestral tenets, eating organ meat. And if you can't eat organ meat, well, you can take my supplements. And he was selling like these organ meat supplements and telling people that you can achieve the results that he did by buying the shit that he sells. And he became a multi-millionaire
on this
just
thing,
selling his supplements. And then he got exposed later by another creator just like this for literally taking tens of thousands of dollars worth of steroids every month. And then until he got called out, then he acknowledged it. Then he like kind of lost his popularity, tried to change what he does. And I don't know, he's up to crazy stuff like trying to shoot Joe Rogan or something. Okay, so Malibu Fit didn't necessarily lie to sell stuff yet. Like black and white, I think if you see a lie, it's right to call it out. But then kind of going into that gray area, it's like, okay, what is your content? Like we could take like a quick look at what his content is. A lot of his content, like just kind of looking at the thumbnails here, exposing frauds, anti-aging fraud, without going through all of his content because we'll be here all day. He feels this need, this pull to expose frauds in the world that he's involved in, which is weightlifting, health, fitness, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know much about this guy yet. And I stress the term yet, because once you start getting into that kind of game, you kind of open yourself up for criticism, sort of like what you're saying. If this is all you do, like you better be squeaky clean. Well, like I said, we're not going to go through all his content because, like, generally speaking, I'm not interested. That's not my world. You know, I only got dragged into this because, like, I found this guy, saw the story, and then, of course, it just starts developing, gets viral. And there's multiple sides to this. Like I said, like, some people are like, yeah, he lied. You're right to call him out for lying, which I'm going to say again, inherently is the correct thing to do.
Of course.
It almost feels kind of dirty when people make their living, you know, make their bones off of just being the expose guy. And a lot of them do a lot of good work and they expose a lot of bad things. But it's just, again, you got to make sure you have your ducks in a row. Like I don't know much about this guy. I just know about my reaction to it. I'm kind of with you where because he didn't lie to sell a certain product or hasn't lied up to this point to sell a specific product, but what could have happened later down the line?
I mean, the idea that you find a little thing that actually, like I said before, is like not particularly about content. It's not about this. Like it's not part of his content, correct? He's talk about that. I'm not appreciate that. That's bad. Lying in a health about your health, it's bad. And I don't think he's looking bad. He just have big lips. Okay, don't be embarrassed. Take it. Make it your signature. This goob_you2 make multiple videos being overexpressive. How he's find out this awful, like we have news about Epstein files. Lying about this and not even sell anything with that, it's not even feel like a crime, honestly. It's not good. It's like a teenager lie about their being sick and not go to school. That's how it feels.
Well, he did reply to his apology video.
Hey guys, it's Malibu. I wanted to talk to you directly about the claim that I made taking an IED blast to the face. Before anything else, I want to be clear. I did serve between 2005 and 2010. That part of my life is something that I've always been proud of. I've always had deep respect for the men and women who served alongside me, especially those who suffered more than I ever have. I've always got comments about my face and appearance. Some of them were harsh, and to be honest, I didn't handle it well. I was new to being in the public eye, and I didn't know how to handle the criticism. Instead of facing that right away, I made a bad decision and put IED survivor in my bio. That was not true, and it was wrong. Truly, I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart.
So the story is that recently you created this IED lie because you got a meteoric rise to fame, you're getting a lot of attention, and people are bullying you on your appearance. Small wrinkle with this story about you not being able to handle the fame and being bullied about your face recently. This is news archives from 2016. Here you're mentioned. Markham is a 35-year-old Army veteran who says he was discharged in 2010 after an IED blew up in his face in Afghanistan, forcing him to get dental reconstruction. So that's actually crazy that you couldn't handle the bullying in 2026 so much that you spent a decade lying about your service history. Yeah, I'm not buying this shit. You're just pulling at the heartstrings of people to gain fame, and then as soon as you have it, it's all oh, whoopsie, I was just self-conscious. You pushed the whole wounded veteran thing as hard as humanly possible, and then once you had the top, or what you feel is the top, you just took it out of there and said, no, don't have to talk about that anymore. I'm not buying it, guys. If you personally want to forgive him, that's super cool. I personally don't like anybody that uses lies and pulls at people's heartstrings to gain fame, and then when it all goes wrong says, oopsie, I was self-conscious. This is a 45-year-old grown man that absolutely knew better.
So what do you want for he to do? Come to you and say, oh, precious dildo underscore you too. You such a great, you figured it out. I'm so sorry. Forgive me, dildo. No, it's not gonna happen like that.
I think it's a good thing to call out liars when they lie.
Clarify that. It's the good thing to do.
But it's the kind of kicking when you're down. Like you know, I do agree with your point. Like, let him get to where he needs to on his own time. You did your work. You exposed him. Congratulations. Enjoy the views. We hope you can sell a lot of supplements too, which he does. But, you know, it's just like you said, it's like the kicking him when he's down. Like, what more do you expect him to do? Like, okay, maybe he's lying in his fucking apology. At this point, your work is done. Your work is done.
You feel so bad about him to still have subscribers, still have a fame. You're so jealous. I believe these videos, they come from a jealousy because how? I said you lie, but people still with you. Maybe it's because he's a positive dude and he's apologized. Even if it's this apologize coming after you to just expose them and tell that he's lying. But I think this is bothering you. You want to be famous and people not turn away from you when you did something wrong. That's jealousy is talking to you. Maybe you need to find something that you actually show yourself, not trying to show who's like someone bad, that bad. It's really easy to say this bad, I can figure it out. I can spend so much time to figure it out who's bad and why. But what about you? What's interesting into you? Your personality. Because nobody's interested in you being so pissed off, but people interested in him. That's the reason why they watch you.
The Malibu Fit situation just shows if you do something wrong and genuinely apologize for it, people will forgive you. And I think part of the reason that this is going so well is the what and the why he lied about it. Like, he didn't lie about accomplishing this great mission or saving someone's life. He just lied about the way he was discharged, only affecting him. And yes, there are many people saying that this is stolen valor and disrespectful to actual people that got discharged from an IED explosion. But since most people aren't a veteran or in the military, the idea of stolen valor just isn't as egregious to the normal public than it is to the veteran community. And I think there's also this general idea of creators nowadays, when they get exposed or caught lying for something, it's usually incredibly worse. Malibu got caught for doing something that affects his credibility, only him. And he apologized immediately. That is rare in today's day and age. So Malibu is still relatively new to the internet and a lot of people. So I think this is kind of seen as his first internet strike. And he apologized for it. Malibu, I'll forgive you, bro.
I have a lot of respect for Malibu for coming clean and not trying to continue the lie. I know that had to be a super tough video for him to make, but at the end of the day, he seems like a super genuine dude. And the lie wasn't malicious at all. He was just super insecure about his face, and he thought lying was the best way to deal with it. And I'm not defending the lie at all. There are people every day who are actually getting injured for our country while serving it, and to claim that is very messed up. But at the end of the day, he did own up to it. He did say it was a mistake, and we all make mistakes. We all lie every day. It's just not shown to a million people, so we should show Malibu some grace. And you guys know me, I'm like the #1 anti-cancel culture guy, and Malibu definitely deserves not to be canceled.
So yeah, we forgive him. We believe him. If you don't believe him, it's your choice, but...
You got caught in a lie. Own up to it. Hopefully you're able to move forward from this. If you're into the content of catching people lying, finding out they're frauds, make sure your ducks are in a row too. Like I said, I'm not over here insinuating this guy's bad. I don't know him. This goob_you2. No malicious feelings toward anyone involved, but just, make sure your ducks in a row. Make sure you're honest. We try to do the same thing. We're not experts on anything. I'm broke most of the time. I'll probably cut that out. But I think just kind of being honest with who you are. You can embellish some factors of your life, but don't straight up lie about who you are, what you do. And for what it's worth, I did see a press release from ProSups. It looks like they're standing with him in the meantime. They acknowledge his mistake and they acknowledge he apologized and they're moving forward. He's not lying about working out.
Oh, shock. So as a designer, I used to work with the face of the brand.
Okay.
So design, packaging, all of this. And of course, sometimes my bosses want something edgy, interesting. But it's good if you work in, I don't know, if you sell some edgy and interesting. What about kids products?
Like edgy, interesting kids products?
Yeah. What about some edgy and new way to show the kids products?
I feel like that might make you end up in a file of some sort.
I believe they trying to reach the star.
Did you hear about the brand Frida Baby?
Frida, Matt, I was going to bring that up because there was stuff that we had from them from our registry. And Mariah comes up to me the other day and she was like, you know that brand Frida? I was like, yeah. She goes, you're not going to believe this. They just got exposed for all their marketing and everything. I was like, well, what's the marketing? I've seen the brand, but I never really
Can we explain what
Frida Baby is?
Frida Baby is I would say, very popular millennial baby product brand. Baby products, postpartum products, the whole 9 yards of what they provide. And it's good quality products. People say Frida Baby's really good, but they posted one of their rectal thermometers for their babies, which is once again a common product for babies to take a very accurate temperature. So they decided to post a picture of this product with this caption saying, this is the closest your husband is going to get to a threesome.
And then also their packaging says all this stuff. This one is really bad, Matt. Did you see this?
No. There's no
Go
fucking
back.
way. There's
Go
no
back.
fucking way.
Go back. Pause that.
There's no way. There is no way.
So this is from January 2020 or April 2020. It goes, what happens when you pull out too early?
There's no fucking way, bro.
I'm sure everyone's heard about the Frida Baby and what's going on, but if not, I'm going to explain it really quick. So this is what it used to look like.
Okay, innocent enough.
Nothing sexual.
It's
That's
really
the
cute
fuss.
packaging.
And this is the bottom. It just talks about Sweden. And then here's the back of the packaging.
I think it's made in Sweden.
This is what packaging is supposed to look like when it's catered towards babies and children. Okay. Not sexual jokes. And I'm going to show you a video really quick of what the packaging looks like today.
Oh my God. What? What? No.
Just want to know, along the way, how did your packaging go from this to having sexualized jokes on the side, and then your Instagram saying, this is as close as your husband's going to get to a threesome, when you guys are talking about rectal thermometers? Seriously, you don't put sexual jokes, because they say it's jokes, right? Yeah, you don't put that on products marketed for children and babies. That's crazy.
So that's wild. Okay, I understand if you had an adult rectum thermometer, right? And you sell it at Spencer's Gifts, the place where you buy that kind of shit. And then you have a little joke here and there. And I'm not even totally against putting sexual innuendos on products, except for when it comes to baby products. I'm not using this as an excuse, but I mean, do the Swedes have this kind of humor and find this okay?
I don't know that, but as a designer, I must say, I see how bosses present this idea to designers. Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Hear me out. They just come and say, well, kids doesn't choose the packaging, right?
Right.
The parents choose the packaging.
Right.
And it's like for millennials. And millennials, they're fucking because they have kids. What about we put 1 and 1 together and gonna have 3 some?
So you're saying that they probably make the packaging with the parents in mind because the kids are not the ones buying the
choosing
product.
it. And it's logically correct. But they make the packaging for adults. But the
Obviously.
product, it's not adult.
It's for babies.
And as a parent who thinking about child when they pick the packaging, they don't want to see nasty thing. Again, we have all these Epstein files. Not here, but in general.
Yeah, no, we don't have them here.
We don't have it here. And to put something like this, that's the worst change of design you can ever made because you think about wrong thing.
Yeah, that's a total misjudgment. I'm not over here. I don't know anything about this company. Who knows? They might end up in somebody's files. Like, this is a total misjudgment. It's really fucking weird. And we're in these like really sensitive times when it comes to like protecting our children, you know, keeping this kind of like content away from them in general. And yeah, sure, like your 2-year-old baby or 1-year-old baby is not going to read the package, but it's just the optics suck here.
That's true.
Frida Baby has now responded to the online backlash concerning their inappropriate marketing with their baby product. If you don't know what's going on, parents all over social media are calling out the brand Frida Baby after noting the sexual undertones within their marketing. It first started with this post for a rectal thermometer where they wrote in the caption, "This is the closest your husband's gonna get to a threesome." And since that, parents have been paying attention to the captions on other social media posts, pointing out more inappropriate innuendos. But it wasn't just the social media posts that concerned parents, as this type of marketing is also used on the products themselves. So many parents took to social media expressing their frustration and even throwing away their Frida Baby product. It appears that one of these concerned parents decided to reach out to Frida Baby themselves, to which they responded this: "Thanks for saying something. Frida has always used humor to talk about the stuff no one else wants to. Postpartum recovery, rectal temps, blowouts, the real parts of parenting. The goal is to make hard or awkward moments feel a little less heavy. That said, humor is personal. What's funny to one parent can feel like too much to another. We're never trying to offend, push boundaries for shock value, or make anyone uncomfortable. References you mentioned were written for adults. Our products are for babies, but our voice is for the grown-ups buying and using them. Still, your reaction matters. Really appreciate longtime supporters like you. I'm sorry this changed how you feel about us. I'll make sure your feedback gets in front of the right team. Thanks again for taking the time to reach out. Remember, with Frida support." And other than this message response, Frida themselves has yet to address this from their official social media account.
Yeah, I totally understand using clever marketing or like trying to incite some type of reaction, but right now, especially these times, this is like not the right way to do it. And they might have done this months ago and there's still stuff on the shelves, but like at this point, like, I don't know, pull a Malibu Fitmaxx and apologize.
Truly, I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart.
And a situation they're just saying like, oh yeah, it's so complicated to deal with postpartum depression, just being a parent. Yeah, what about you write it down a good kind of tips and tricks for new parents? Some different stuff. You don't need to put you want some quickie?
This is the closest your husband's gonna have to a threesome. I don't know. Maybe on the post be like poopy stinky, right?
Yeah, like if you wanna reach the more audience, make the poopy pee-pee jokes.
Poo-poo pee-pee jokes.
Works all the time.
Unless it's one of those like they're into poo-poo and pee.
They're gonna like it more. I prefer to avoid using your products because if you prefer to do that on a kid product, let's go different directions. You know, I grew up on beautiful movies like Mask, Liar Liar. I really love that. Ace Ventura, great. Dumb and Dumber, my favorite. I rewatched it many times. But you know what? The main character of all these movies, Jim Carrey, honestly, don't recognize him anymore. Bunch of users of TikTok or Instagram, they have the same issue.
Oh, you still think that's Jim? You still think that's Jim? Take a look at this and you tell me if this is the real Jim Carrey, allegedly.
Did you notice Jim Carrey's blue eyes? Nobody realized that the person accepting the award at the 51st César Awards was actually Jim Carrey's body double. First, Jim Carrey's eyes have always been a deep brown, especially during The Mask and The Truman Show era. Those eyes carried a signature brown glow, lively and full of vitality. However, the person receiving the award had blue eyes, appearing almost
Not blue, but green.
transparent under the bright stage lights. Second, anyone familiar with Jim Carrey knows that in recent years,
What's going on with his eye color? And not just his eye color, but the shape of his eyes. Explain to me why suddenly he would just feel the need to change eye color if he's been on this journey of telling everybody about the ego and Eckhart Tolle and Buddhism and Taoism teachings about it. Tell me how he woke up suddenly in his 60s and got so vain and said, I'm going to go ahead and inject stuff and have a pillow face, when all he's done is tell us how we should let go of our ego.
First, I think he's still recognizable in a kind of thing, but it's definitely not the same face anymore. And it feels really sad. I liked his face with all those expressions, all those muscles, the lines. That was great. And now we have Botox face.
A Hollywood guy doing Hollywood stuff?
He was always against the Hollywood stuff. That's the thing, what's pushing him to finally break and do what everyone do in Hollywood.
His age and mortality?
I think greatness does not count as your look. Greatness counts as how many smiles, how many beautiful movies, how many beautiful jokes, how many beautiful faces, how many beautiful speeches do you made, not in your look.
Are there conspiracy theories surrounding this?
Oh yeah, baby.
So I saw this. I will call out that Colbert thing. Some people are saying that that Colbert appearance was actually quite some time ago.
Yes.
But, you know, conspiracy theories aren't known for always being right. I can't say I understand conspiracy theories, but I can understand where people come up with them. Kind of crazy, though.
I doubt a lot of things because I was dived deep. Like I said, I grew up on this dude. I grew up on his art. It feels like this. His face is like, he's like a part of a family. I'm so familiar with his face because you grow up with his movies. You see how he became older. I wasn't prepared to see him with a plastic surgery. I believe it's a plastic surgery. I believe it's some kind of...
He's actually wearing the mask from the movie.
Yeah. It's not green anymore because we live in a different time. What's make me feel uncomfortable? If you go and watch the original video when he's talking after received the award in France and he have speech in French. Beautiful. He's great. But he seems dreamy. He seems like he's somewhere not here. He always was like talking about what he's thinking about. He always was talking about what's bothering him and anxiety and depression. He was pretty open about that. He do art about that. In this recent video, he doesn't look himself. Not only visually, but also what he say. I hope it's nothing bad. If he's happy with that, God bless him. Or wherever he believes in. It just feels like someone you know just disappear.
Some of you are new to the he or she is a clone game. First of all, you're not Getty imaging enough ears. That's how I know you don't know how to tell if somebody's a clone. Here's what I think happened to Jim Carrey. I think he had a brow lift, but he did not have a bleph. So he has this smooth forehead and this heightened eye appearance, even though it's still surrounded by all of the excess skin tissue. That's why his eyes look like they're a different color. More light is being let into the eye. And that's why it's so uncanny valley, because the eyes are not that dissimilar, except for they're just a slightly different position in the face because the brow has been lifted. This mid-face region here too, that's clearly oxidized makeup.
You know what? I love Jim Carrey on In Living Color, and if he wants plastic surgery, I think he deserves it.
I really hope it's not Truman Show.
Maybe it's a social experiment.
Who knows? Maybe he decided to impress us this way.
So those were some topics that we covered. We hope that you enjoyed the programming. If you guys are new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. We're really happy that you made it this far. Help us out. Help us grow. We love you.
And we're going to be so happy to see you in the next episode. Any show that you can choose, check it out. We have a multiple different stuff. For now, bye.
Bye. And if you're watching this alone, this is the closest you're going to come to a threesome. Hi, Jay and Marie from the Editing Bay. We just wanted to add a couple more things in post because we found some more information on a couple of our stories.
First, makeup artist Alexis Stone is now claiming he was wearing prosthetics and posing as a Jim Carrey at the award show.
Alexis Stone has publicly claimed that the man recently seen in Paris was actually him in full prosthetic disguise. The internet had already been spiraling over Jim Carrey's noticeably different appearance. Fans debated whether it was lighting, aging, cosmetic work, or something more unusual. Then Alexis Stone stepped in and said it outright. That wasn't Jim Carrey. It was him. For those unfamiliar, Alexis Stone is known for hyper-realistic celebrity transformations. He has built a reputation for appearing in public as famous figures using advanced prosthetics, makeup, and full-body character work. On his social platforms, he has documented multiple high-profile impersonations, not just photo shoots, but real-world appearances that blur the line between performance art and social experiment. This time, he posted what he says were the prosthetics used for the Jim Carrey look. The facial structure, skin texture, even subtle asymmetries appear carefully constructed. And what's making people uneasy is that he doesn't seem like he's joking. There's no obvious punchline, no wink to the audience, just a calm assertion that it was him.
Also, we found this Instagram user who made very similar points and went a little beyond what Marie was saying when we were covering Malibu Fitmaxx.
Hot take. Two people can be wrong at the same time. I am addressing the controversy of Malibu Fitmaxx lying about stolen valor. It is clear that Malibu Fitmaxx lied about getting hit in the face with an IED. Let me make this clear. As a U.S. Army veteran myself, it is wrong to lie about injuries and feats that happened on deployment. It's absolutely wrong, and I denounce it. However, I have some questions for the guy that outed Mr. Malibu Fitmaxx, because I think a dangerous precedent could be set here. All right, Goob, this part's for you, Goob. I got some questions for you. How did you obtain his DD-214 and medical records? Did you obtain them legally? Who did you obtain them from? Did he give permission? I highly doubt it since you outed him. And also, if you did obtain them legally, even without his permission, why in the world did you choose to broadcast those documents to millions of people? Yes, I know you blocked out the address and social security number, but that brings up another question for you. Did the copy that you got have the social security number and you bleeped it out? And if so, why are you allowed access to that information? You know damn well you could have confirmed the fact that he was lying without putting those documents on camera. All you had to do was say, hey, I have evidence. Here's the evidence I have without showing it, without going into any detail that would hurt him, and also basically saying, I can prove it in court. That's all you had to do, but you didn't. You showed the documents to millions of people. Whether he's guilty or not, this sets a dangerous precedent. If veterans make a claim that people are skeptical of, they shouldn't just be able to pull sensitive records and blast it all over the internet. So here's what I say to you, Goob. You should have to apologize too. Malibu Fitmaxx was in the wrong, but so are you blasting that sort of information, because we don't want to set the precedent for veterans to have their private medical information blasted all over the internet. That is Sourpuss's take on that. Thank you for your time. And I want some answers, Goob.
We hope you enjoyed the show. See you in the next episode.